Good day, folks. Welcome to Answers Life. I hope everyone is doing great today. Well, in the midst of all the craziness that's going on out here, for a lot of people, times are tough, money's low, the jobs aren't paying, the typical nonsense that's going on right now. So in the midst of these hard times, how do some of you are probably online looking for some solutions of how to deal with these times. How do you keep yourself from going crazy? How do for people that got serious mental issues, how do you keep yourself from taking it to that level of wanting to do something bad to yourself? I mean, how do you keep your sanity during times like these? I'm not gonna promise you guys that any of my answers are gonna be 100 proof, because again, they're not. But again, on this video, I'm gonna use myself as an example. I mean, there's a few things I'm gonna share with you guys that I never really wanted to share before, but times are tough for a lot of people. And I'm hoping what I share on this video will help out somebody. Because like I told you guys on previous videos during the last recession, I'm not gonna forget the conversation I had with one of my coworkers at the time, who he told me he thought about self-deleting himself because his money was not good. He was disappointed in himself and just, he felt like shit. So anyways, like in my case, like I said, I'm trying to figure out where to start here. Now the way that I'm dealing with these times, the time of craziness is, I mean, granted, I don't have as many bills as a lot of people my age have because of some of the choices I made when I was younger. And I'm not gonna really elaborate too much on my finances like that. But anyways, there's still a lot of things that I need to do in my life. I mean, like for one, I don't have near the amount of money that I know I'm going to need in order to retire at this particular point. And yes, that does get to me. I'm not even going to lie to you guys, that does get to me. Now, when I look at the financial accomplishments I've made thus far in my life, it involves me having to do a lot of physical labor jobs. I worked the oil field for a little bit of time. I spent several years working factory jobs. And I would say for the majority of my adult life, I worked multiple jobs. In the majority of the jobs I've worked, all the jobs that I ever worked have all required me to do physical labor. They've all required me to be on my feet for an extended period of time. Now, back when I was younger, it was no issue. It was no problem. Like, especially when I was in my 20s. Like when I was in my 20s, and even into my 30s, I was able to get maybe 5 hours of sleep and get up and go to work and work both my jobs and get off of work, go to the gym, exercise for a little bit, go home and still have a little bit of energy to do whatever. But, one thing that's really getting on me, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, is the fact that as I get older, I got issues with my feet. And what happened was, Back when I was in my early 20s, I was in a vehicle accident, and the vehicle I was driving flipped over, and I therefore broke my ankle. So I broke my ankle. I mean the, my foot was damn near hanging off of my leg. But I broke my ankle real bad. I had to get it operated on and all that good stuff. And after that, I did go through therapy. Now, ever since that injury, I never was able to walk correctly. Ever since that injury, I always had issues with that ankle. And for many years, I would use my good foot to baby my bad foot. And over time, it took its toll. So now the older I get, the more issues I tend to have with my feet. Now, some of you are probably asking, okay, well, why don't I go and learn a new skill that doesn't involve me being on my feet all day? Well, not that I'm trying to make excuses here, but have you guys seen the price of tuition? I can't afford that stuff. And I'm not willing to go to school for 4 years and then run up a crap load of student loan debt that I'm going to have to pay after I graduate. And the way things have been going recently, half these degrees that are out here, it's not even a guarantee that I'm even going to be able to find a job in that particular occupation. So if I get out there and I don't find a job, guess what? I'm still on the hook for those student loans. And yes, that does make me nervous because at this point in my life, I have spent many years working my ass off to get out of debt and to stay out of debt. And I'm just not willing to risk going to college and earning a degree and then not being able to find work afterwards. It's kind of like a lot of the people that went to school for tech. They went to school, they thought they were making the right choices, and many of them now are sitting at their house out of work, don't know what to do with don't know what the hell to do. I mean, yeah, they may have gotten other jobs at this point, but the pay is probably a fraction of what they were making before. And that makes me nervous. So, there's been a bunch of different things I've had on my mind, especially recently, of what am I going to do for money? Like, what am I going to do to increase my income? I mean, yeah, I've already discussed briefly my thoughts of going to trucking school and earning a CDL. And right now, I'm waiting for my other house to sell because I was going to take some of the money off of that to put myself through trucking school. But aside from that, what do I do to keep myself from losing it? Because I'm not going to lie to you people, man. The fact that I don't have the money that I need in order to retire, the fact that I'm not living the way that I genuinely want to live at this particular point, which I'm working on improving that, by the way, but right now it is what it is. And yes, I do got a couple of side hustles, but unfortunately, they don't make me enough to where I can rely on those without having to have a regular 9 to 5 income. And I've told you guys the other day that my job has cut off hours. So I told you guys all that jazz. And and so what do I do to keep myself sane, I guess you can say? Well, this is what I do. For starters, I try to limit the amount of media that I watch online. I mean, do I watch videos to where people are complaining about the economy? I do. I made videos like that myself, so you know, it is what it is. But recently, I try to limit how many of those type of videos that I watch. And what I do is I might watch videos about people that decided to do van life. Now, I told you guys before, me personally, I don't see myself doing van life. At least not full time. Part time, yes, but not full time. But I watch people do van life full time, and to me, I love watching that type of content. It's interesting, it's fun, and I do learn a few things. It kind of takes my mind away from, I guess you can say, my own reality, and it puts my mind in a place where I can enjoy life, even if it's through somebody else. I can still enjoy life for that moment at least. So I limit the amount of stuff I watch in concerns to politics, in concerns to the economy. I watch enough to get some information and to stay up to date with what's going on out here. But when I watch social media, I also try to watch content that I feel will offer actual solutions. And I'm talking, solutions that are logical. Just solutions that everyday people like myself who work blue collar jobs can do the second that I cut off that video. And another thing that I do and I've got back and I've been back doing this now for a month is I decided to go back to the gym and start working out because I notice when I work out, not only will it have me looking better in time, but I notice when I work out, I feel better. I have more energy throughout the day. When I'm at work, I can move a little faster because I have more energy. And plus, I've lost a few pounds ever since I've started working out. Now, you guys may not be able to tell at this point, but I've lost a few pounds. And the fact that I'm working out again, you know, it does something to my mind when it comes to my diet. I mean, now I'm to the point where, yeah, when I go to the grocery store, it's tempting to buy those Twinkies. It's tempting to buy that double chocolate cake with the cherries on top and all that type of stuff. All that is tempting. It's tempting to buy some Popeyes. But then I get to thinking about my workout and I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm at the gym working out because I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to get healthier. I'm trying to look better. And in trying to do all that, I can't just be eating anything. I gotta watch what I take in. So therefore, I don't buy all that stuff anymore. Now, once a week, I do treat myself to some, I'll just call it junk food. I do treat myself. Yes, I do. And when it comes to my sweets, I do treat myself. I eat dark chocolate. Like today for breakfast, I treated myself to a couple of pancakes and a steak. There's a restaurant down the street from where I live. I went down there. I got me a couple of pancakes and to satisfy my sweet tooth. And I don't really eat a whole lot of meat. I mean, most lunches I eat are non-meat. So just to have some kind of meat in my diet, I decided to purchase a steak. So that's one thing I do to keep to keep myself from going crazy, I guess you can say. I work out Once a week, I treat myself to some of my favorite junk food. I mean, I'm not a complete health nut. I wish I was, but I'm not. I wish I can say that I have gotten rid of my sweet tooth, but I haven't. It's still a struggle. It's still a struggle that I gotta deal with. I mean, I'm still thankful that I never picked up the bottle because during my 20s I used to drink like a fish, and I quit drinking in my late 20s, and I'm forever grateful that I never had the urge to go to the liquor store and pick up another bottle. So I'm thankful for that. And another thing that I do to keep my mind right is whenever it's nice outside, like whenever I'm off of work or I get home from work, I always make time to go outside. Even if it's only for 20 minutes, I go outside, I take in some fresh air. I look around and I go outside in my yard. I'm able to. I try to do an outdoor video. The reason why this video is not outdoors is because today it's raining, it's nasty outside, so I'm doing a video indoors. But even on a day like today, like I go around my house and I open up the blinds on my window. That way, when I'm sitting in my house, I can look out the window and I can see the outside. That makes me feel better. Like when I'm at my job, whenever I have a chance, I look out the window for a couple of minutes. Just look at the trees, look at the sun. Even if it's raining like it is today, still, I can see the trees, I can see the sky, and it makes me feel better. Another thing that I like to do is I like to travel. Now, I may not be able to travel internationally like some of you do, but whenever I have some time, I try to travel at least somewhere to another state. Even if I can't go to another state, at the minimum, I'm gonna travel somewhere within the state where I live, which right now is Alabama. And by the way, me going out here and doing these traveling blogs, me doing these traveling blogs makes me feel better because I mean, for one, there is something that's, I can't put a finger on it, but to me, traveling has always been therapeutic to me. So I figure when I do my traveling blogs, I kill two birds with one stone. One, I satisfy my urge to travel. Two, when I make a video, I help out some of you that are looking for new places to possibly move to. And three, I make a few bucks off of it on YouTube. So for those of you that have been watching my channel, I appreciate every last one of you. And another thing that I do to keep my mind right is I always make time for myself. Now I know for many of you that could be difficult to do because many of you are raising kids, you're working multiple jobs, you're trying to do everything you can do to keep the bills paid and to keep a roof over your head and wheels under your feet, all that type of stuff. But for me, and for those of you that can do this, try to make time for yourself. I mean, preferably if you can take off at least, if you can have at least one day a week to where you do what you want to do. If it's sitting around and doing nothing but watching TV or playing around online, do that. If it's going outside and playing in your yard or taking hikes, do that. Whatever you want to do on that day, do it. Whether it might be productive or not, who cares? Do it. Like today, I'm off of work. It's raining outside. Right now, I'm just getting stuff done around my house. I'm getting laundry done and getting the house cleaned up a little bit. and I'm making a couple of videos for my channel. But right now, this is my definition of doing what I want to do. This is my definition of taking time out for myself. I mean, as you guys can see, I'm dressed super casual. Well, I'm always casual, but today I'm dressed super casual. I mean, I got my two-tone green thing going on right here. I got t-shirt, just a regular shirt like this. I mean, I'm just sitting here chilling, just doing what I do. I'm not really super concerned about what people think of me in terms of how my wardrobe is. I'm not tripping off of that shit. And that's another thing that makes feel better. I mean, that's another thing that keeps my mind right. I don't really focus on what other people think of me. I don't care. I live my life how I live my life. I do what I do. And I look how I look. I am who I am as a person. I make zero effort to change who I am for anybody. Even when it comes to a job interview. Kind of like what I was going through over the summer. And I got videos on this channel about that. So if you go back on my channel to the videos that I made during the month of July and August, I got videos on my channel to where I discuss some of my job interview experiences. And anymore, even when I do a job interview, I don't just settle for any old job. Now, I understand right now times for a lot of people are hard and you gotta do what you gotta do. I get that. And I'm not saying don't do what you gotta do. I'm just saying for me, I try to work occupations that I can at least tolerate. Cause I know no matter what job I work, it's not gonna be perfect. So I try to work occupations that I can at least tolerate. So when it comes to my job interview, again, I mean, I'm not rude, I'm not a jerk, but all that fake persona that some of these coaches tell you to put on when you go to an interview, I don't do that shit. I go in, they ask me a question, I answer. I might ask them a question, and they might answer. I mean, it is what it is with me when it comes to a job interview. I just keep it real. I just keep it all the way real because my attitude is no point in me trying to lie to them because I rather for us to know where we stand when we deal with each other. That way I know on the spot, do I want this job? Do I not want this job? And they'll know on the spot whether they even want to deal with me or not. So that's just how I roll when it comes to a job interview. I don't pull no punches. I don't put on no fake persona. I keep it 100. And so anyway, and by the way, that's another reason why I need to learn a new skill. I need to learn a skill to where, at least until I get to the point where I don't have to deal with the 9-to-5 workforce anymore, I feel if I have a skill to where I would be more marketable, to where I can make better money, that will also help me keep my mind right. Because I'll be making more money. I won't be sweating the finances as much. I'll be able to put way more money away towards my retirement. Now I know some of you are probably thinking that, time is precious and I need to take care of my time. You're absolutely correct. But there's that. And then there's the fact that, like I said, I've been homeless before, temporarily. But I've been there before. And I do not desire to go back to being homeless and broke. I mean, back when I was homeless and broke before, it was no fun. I was ashamed. I was miserable. I'm not even gonna lie. Now that I think about doing something bad to myself, hell no. But was I broke? I mean, I was broke and I was very miserable. And I vowed at that time that I'm gonna do what I got. I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to get myself away from homelessness and to not ever be homeless again. And that's what I plan to do. I am not going back to being homeless again. I just can't do it to myself. So that's one of the main reasons why I'm working these jobs that I'm working. And I'm not out here just saying, you know what, fuck this job, I'm gone, I'm out, I'm hitting the road, I'm traveling, I'm living out my van, I'm doing whatever the fuck. That's the only reason why I'm not doing that, because yes, I do fear burning through my money and eventually going broke again. Yes, I do fear that at this point if I make the wrong choices. Which is the only reason why I'm even keeping a 9 to 5, despite how I feel about working a 9 to 5. And that is the only reason why I am trying to stay grounded and not go out here and travel the way that I truly want to travel. Because I just cannot go run. I just refuse to run out of my money and then ultimately find myself homeless again because I done ran through all my resources and lost all my shit. I'm just not doing that to myself. So if I have to work a 9 to 5, if I have to postpone some of my traveling plans, it is what it is. I mean, I look at it as it's part of being an adult. Now, for some of you younger folks that don't own a home, you're just paying rent. You know, for some of you, if you want to just say F it, quit your job, go out here and travel the country and just do what you do, I ain't mad at you. But I know for me, I'm in my mid 40s and time is not as much on my side when it comes to when it comes to the money that I need to save for my retirement. Like if I go out here right now and I blow through all my money and I end up dead ass broke, time is not going to be as much on my side to recuperate those resources as it would have been if I was, let's say, in my 20s. So given the age that I am, I gotta be a little bit more responsible with my resources. I can't just be out here making decisions on the fly and being in my emotions and being in the moment and not bothering to look into the future. I can't afford to do that. I wish I could, but I can't. So here I am. And let me think. Now, me personally, I can honestly tell you guys that if you were to speak to me 15 years ago, I would never have dreamed of going out here and getting a pet. But I will say, one thing in life that does make me feel good is my cat. I do have a pet cat. Many of you that have been following me, you've seen my cat. Whenever I go traveling, I take my cat with me. So my pet cat, she makes me feel better. And there's actually studies out there that will suggest that if you have a cat can reduce your risk of stroke by, I think they said 30%. There's studies out there that point that out. So go check them out. But I do enjoy having a pet cat. Now, if I had more money, I would be like that man. Well, he's got a YouTube channel. He's called Cat Whisper. I think that's the name of his channel. I would be doing something like that. I would be going out here and rescuing a crap ton of cats, getting them fixed, getting them, training them to where they can be more domestic If I had more money, like way more money and more time, that's something that I could see myself doing. Because when it comes to a cat, I don't know. I mean, I only got one cat because that's all I can afford. But I find myself being a cat person, and like even like at my work, there's a house across the street where these people have a whole crap ton of cats that are walking all over the place, and they do come into the yard of the facility. And whenever I got, now I typically keep a little bit of cat food around, so I just feed their cats. I mean, whenever I go out and feed the cats, it makes me feel better. Looking at all the different breeds out there, it makes me feel better. So that's another thing that keeps my mind right. And, and of course, I do enjoy my house. Now, I know right now for many of you, it's hard to buy a house because of the interest rates and the housing prices and the economy. I mean, for many of you, it's going to be difficult. But I know for me, I do enjoy my house. And like I said, there's, if feasible, have at least one day to where you allocate that day to yourself and you do what you want to do. If you don't want to do nothing but stay in bed all day, then stay in bed all day. Or if you can't allocate a whole day to yourself, maybe you can allocate a half a day to yourself. Maybe when you get home from work, you can allocate the evening to yourself. And during those evening hours, again, if you don't want to do anything other than watch TV, then so be it. Watch TV. If you're tired and you want to go to bed early, go to bed early. All right, folks, we're over a half hour. I've said everything that I could think to say. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys got something out of it. And for those of you that know somebody that's going through mental health issues right now, stay in touch with those people. Keep tabs on them. Give them a phone call. Pop up at their house if feasible. Make sure they're doing good and make sure they're getting the help they need. Because we don't need no one to do anything bad to themselves over something that's temporary, such as this shitty ass economy. Stay blessed. I'll catch you all on the next one.